So we're going to set up the injector sequence valve, and that's this here valve, and it just controls how fast the stage 2 cylinder extends as the injector carriage is traveling into the back of the machine. I'm going to run the injector and show how that works. So here we go. Let's stop it here. So what happened there was the stage 2 cylinder extended about 2 inches, and then it stayed at that 2-inch extension as the carriage traveled to the back of the machine. And then if I would have continued the flow of the injector carriage, it would have extended the stage 2 cylinder all the way up, and it would have cycled correctly. If that was out of adjustment and this was extending too quickly, it could potentially roll bales or pinch them. So I'll just run the injector through a cycle how it should run. Twice there. If for whatever reason this valve isn't adjusted correctly, you'll need a 3/4 inch wrench and a 1/4 inch Allen key, and you just loosen off the jam nut. And then I'm just going to adjust this valve out too far and run the sequence valve and explain what happens. So there you can see the injector blade was extending too far. So it was extending, I'd say 4 or 5 inches before the carriage was fully at the back. So in this case, it's open too far, allowing too much oil to the stage 2 cylinder. We'll have to close it until it's at the right setting. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Run the injector down again. Get on it with a 1/4 inch Allen key, and what we're going to do is we're just going to close it a 1/4 round at a time and run the injector to see if it gets better. So that pretty much did it. If we had a higher flow pump on this machine, we'd want to close a little more, but I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to close another 1/4 turn and run it again. So that's working correctly now. I'll just bring it back. The injector stage 2 is extending 2 inches until the carriage is all the way at the back of the machine, and then it's continuing its extension. We'll just run it one more time to show how it operates when it's normal, and then we'll call her good. Lastly, you want to lock up the jam nut with the 3/4 inch wrench, and that's your adjustment setting. One thing to note is if this was closed too far, it would restrict oil to that stage 2 cylinder, and it would actually slow it down. So you'd lose a little bit of capacity because the injector would be extending slowly on that stage 2. Other than that, that's the 2 things you'll see with this valve.